It's a film with three brains. 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 It's a film with three brains.
Oh my god, you guys are freaks.
Something big, huh? That's what they all think back home, something big.
Could be something big.
What is it?
Sworn to secrecy. Without the formula, the Japanese, or anyone else for that matter, would have nothing.
You're asking us to consider making a vast investment.
I want to know, what do we own?
Obviously, we don't want to get too specific for security reasons.
Mr. Ross, take a picture, sir?
Sure.
I'll give you $1,000 for that camera.
Ever get the urge to do something adventurous, in spite of the ancient wisdom against inter-office romances?
I think you're a lovely young woman.
Can you see without those things?
Sure.
Why don't you take them off?
The fella said we must never forget that we are human. And as humans, we must dream. And when we dream of money.
Everybody on vacation's got a story.
What do you do?
I'm with the FBI.
Campbell Scott, Rebecca Pidgeon, Steve Martin, Ben Gazzara, Ricky Jay, Felicity Huffman.
We have no idea who anyone is. Like they say at the airport, did anyone give you a package?
You mistrust everybody?
Just strangers.
You now have a Swiss bank account, code word Patty.
Why?
Critics call it David Mamet's best foray into filmmaking.
Mr. Ross, you're in a lot of trouble.
I've done nothing wrong.
Now, Mr. Ross, if I told you this story, would you believe it?
A taut, intriguing tale.
It is the oldest confidence game on the books. The Spanish prisoner. The man who supplies the money gets the fortune and the girl.
I believe we have a problem.
People aren't that complicated, Joe. Good people, bad people. They generally look like what they are.
The Spanish Prisoner.
Why are so many people having such difficulty?
That's the question baffles me.
It's a film with three brains. Sam in San Francisco.
And this is Sean in Chicago. I don't know. We're doing weird stuff tonight.
I'm Cohen. I'm Cohen in Maplewood. I can't get that high.
Get off the island.
And we are not reviewing Vietnam again. Yeah. We should probably review it every 50 movies or so.
That boy's good.
How it holds up. That movie's good.
Good and terrible.
All right.
Did we even say Maplewood, New Jersey? Or
I did.
Yeah,
it's
there. All right.
Yeah, I mean,
sorry.
This is a voiceover at the same time.
And nobody cares.
Right. Today we are reviewing the 1997 sleeper, The Spanish Prisoner, by David Mamet. We covered him before. This is different. It's a con movie starring Steve Martin, Campbell Scott, and Gazzara. Other people show up. Anyway, You guys see this thing before?
Yes.
Once.
Me too, just once. Fond memories of it, which is why I picked it. Even though I couldn't remember jack squat as I was watching it.
Yeah. Did you have the experience where, you mentioned the camera for $1,000?
Yeah.
Did you have the experience where about halfway through you're like, oh, I know exactly where this is going, and then it wasn't going where you thought it was going?
Nope.
I thought I had it all figured out again when I did not.
I kept it. As some of these things that happened, I was like, oh yeah, that's part of the con. That's part of the con. And then later I was like, is she part of the con? Is the girl part of the con or not? I could not remember.
Right.
And then I was like, well, what about the guy who's sick? Is he, because he gave him the money. Is he part of the con? And what was fun about it is you realize okay, he's done a really good job of having nobody trustworthy in the, no one that you can really know the whole movie long.
Right.
Yeah.
His buddy seems so shifty.
Yeah. The whole thing. So I can give a brief synopsis for people who need synopses.
Do it.
This guy who, they never tell you exactly what it is, but it sounds like he's invented a way of investing or some other process that will, that's mathematically focused that will be super lucrative for a company. And he is, what do you say? He's a temp or something. He's not a true employee of the company. Anyway, he starts to doubt whether or not he is going to be properly compensated. And at the same time that those doubts happen, a guy who appears super rich shows up in his life, Steve Martin, and offers him, subtly wins his trust and offers him guidance. And ultimately, he ends up losing his notebook in which he's developed a process to this elaborate con. That's the synopsis. I'm sure we'll give it all away as we go through the rest. But if you haven't seen this movie, I like it enough that I think you should pause our review, go watch the movie, and then come back.
Yeah, the reveals are good enough that it's worth not knowing. I mean, that, you know, we're going to spoil everything like we usually do.
Yeah.
But even like we were talking about, like the little things of the bits of conversation where you think this person is doing that, and the ride is really the whole thing, the enjoyment of discovery.
Yeah, I think that as I was watching it, and afterwards I was thinking, there aren't many movies that keep you in this much of a mystery. You know, that you as the viewer, a lot of movies, they're con artist movies, and there's a little bit of, who's doing which con, that you're kind of rooting for the hero to figure it out, but you also know some of the information they don't have. Like a lot of times, a good writer wants to give the audience a little bit of secret information that their main guy, that their main character doesn't have. And as you're going through, you're waiting for them to figure it out. And this one is just like you are with the main character of, like, you don't know what's going on at all. So it's not a perfect movie, but I enjoyed it a lot.
I don't like it much at all.
Yeah. The flaws get you?
It's just like, it's like a combination of the dialogue and the performances just ruin it for me. And a large part. So here's the funny thing. I've seen it once before. I didn't have fond memories of it, but I couldn't remember a damn thing about it, except Campbell Scott's worst line reading of any line in any movie ever made, where early on they're on the beach, right before they meet Steve Martin, and Rebecca Pigeon says, a lot of Japanese people come here. And he's like, long way to go. And she's like, I like to think it's because blah. And then he pauses and he goes, aha. And then like wanders off. And it's just, I remembered that right before, like, the scene starts. I go, oh my God, this is the part where fucking Campbell Scott does that goofy, that doesn't make any sense. It's so weird. It doesn't sound like he's agreeing with her. He doesn't sound like he's perplexed by it. He doesn't sound like he disagrees. It's like he has no thought behind it as an actor at all. It's just something that popped out of his fucking mouth. And it's weird, and I hate it. And it's stuck with me all these years. That single I hate so much. I mean, that's kind of an aside. That's not why I don't care for the movie. But I keep comparing this to Glengarry Glen Ross, and only because of performances.
Yeah.
And like, Glengarry Glen Ross is a handful of perhaps the most perfect actors to ever speak David Mamet lines. And then you've got this, where Steve Martin is probably the best, I think. But even he's like not, I don't know how to describe it, but like, I had a hard time getting invested in it, even though I like the plotting of it all. I like the way it's plotted. I just don't like the dialogue, and I don't like the performances at all. I don't like anyone's performance.
I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you not like the dialogue, or do you not like the way it's said? Because I think
it's both. It's both.
The biggest flaw of this movie to me is that it's shot like a play. The actors are saying their lines like they're in a play, on a stage in a play.
Yes.
That doesn't work for this movie.
I agree.
Because it works in Glengarry Glen Ross because you're in this tight little room and you never really change the scenery too much. This movie is a movie. There's no way to make all of these scenes happen in the play the way they did. They, you know, they're covering land, they're driving up to Boston, they're going to the airport, they're going on a boat. There's no way this is a play. So to try to have the actors be that stiff and you know, that everything is so crisp and clear, like they're trying to get the person in the back of the play to, you know, the auditorium to hear it. It doesn't work.
I agree. And I think part of it too is that David Mamet is an excellent writer. He's just not a good director.
Absolutely.
You know, like it needed give this movie to a different director with maybe a different cast, maybe not necessarily even a different cast. I don't know, but maybe just a director who, I don't know, just like makes different choices. I don't know, but like Rebecca Pidgeon in particular, I can't stand her.
Oh yeah.
When she speaks.
No, she's
right.
I mean, she is
I gotta
terrible.
Say that she has got to have the worst line readings.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really bad. Is bad that you mentioned, but she says lines that are clearly supposed to be smushed together. You know, like the normal cadence of people speaking, we should be talking over each other a little bit. That's how it works.
Yeah.
But in this, no one ever talks over each other at all, and she won't even step on her own lines. Like she's like, you're right, or you know, she says you're right in the plane, and then she says like, you see here, you see, Mister. Like she just meshes it out, and like it should be like a thought. Like a little...
And I'm reminded. I'm glad you said that because it reminds me of the Alec Baldwin speech in Glengarry Glen Ross. He has a cadence to the lines that's similar to the way in this movie, and especially Rebecca Pidgeon. You know, you see, where he's like, we're talking about what you're talking about, bitching about some broad you're trying to bang, you know, like he delivers it in a way that feels natural and makes sense. The repetitiveness, the way people sort of start a thought and they stop and they repeat it, and she just can't do it.
She can't do it.
You know,
she won't.
And I would argue that most of the cast in this movie isn't really just not. It's like they just could never quite find the right rhythm or a natural way to deliver these sort of strange. The way he writes is unusual. You know, it's different. Right. And I think it's just, I thought Steve Martin was pretty good, and I like that he's cast against type. You know, David Mamet wrote the role for Steve Martin, because he knew he thought Steve Martin would be great, you know, against type, doing something serious and quiet and menacing as a result. And I agree with that 100%.
Yeah.
And he did pretty well. I think he did better than anyone else, but Campbell Scott, I don't know. Part of me just doesn't like him. So I don't know. I like Ricky Jay, but even him, like, he's in a bunch of David Mamet movies.
Right.
And in this one, it just feels so unnatural. It's so odd. Everything feels forced and weird and not in a good way. So I like the plotting of The Spanish Prisoner, and I think it's interesting, and I agree. It kind of keeps you guessing. You never know who's involved and who's not. But that wasn't enough to keep. I just kept, like, I found it all hard to suspend disbelief, you know, to buy into the illusion of the film, you know, of any film, and to not just be kind of taken out of every scene as people were speaking.
Yeah,
I think just kind of ruins it all.
I think that I completely agree about the directing. I think he wrote a great screenplay. He got recognized for it. It lost like a mystery award to Out of Sight. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That was weird. But I think the way he relates to the actors, even, you know, regardless of the casting and the fact that his wife is in it and all that, like the way he doesn't like work with them or think along with them as actors, especially on movie actors, is really obvious. Like so Campbell Scott has the moment of, oh, I just lost my process. I just lost my golden egg here. And all he does as a director is focus on him. And then, you know, he has this kind of, you know, look, and that's it. Like, there's no reaction. There's no, like, we don't get to feel what he's feeling. And I kept thinking, like, that's the moment right there. That's his heart must have sunk. He must have felt so horrible in that moment. And then they just cut to the next scene. It really was really wasn't done at all. And then going back to
along those same lines, like, I agree with you. And I kept thinking, like, in that moment, if we'd have seen Al Pacino, Ed Harris, Jack Lemmon, even Kevin Spacey or Alec Baldwin, any of the cast from Glengarry Glen Ross, in that moment, the effect would have been, I feel like 1,000% different and
Right?
better. Anyway, sorry, I interrupted
Well,
you.
no, that's fine, because my next point is a whole other scene with Rebecca Pigeon again.
Oof.
And she's in the plane. They just did the, here's your first class ticket.
Yeah.
And she says, shows to go ya. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
I remember it the first time I watched this. I remember that I heard it and I'm like, oh man. And I rewound it to make sure I heard it right. And I did. She says, and shows to go ya. And then she just keeps going on, and there's no like, as an actress, she should have been like, made a some kind of acknowledgement that she didn't say what she wanted to say, because everything else is so precise. Everything is so articulated so clearly that stands out as like, wait a minute, there's got to be another take of that somewhere, unless Mamet is just not paying enough attention to his actors to see when they flub lines.
You don't think that's a flub?
I don't think it's a flub.
No. It's got to be a flub, because how else would you explain it?
Well,
she says something else later that's quirky too.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I thought maybe she's just like being weird.
Unless there's a reference,
but no one, but also like no one reacts to it.
Well, there's no one to react. It's like a shot of her on the plane, and you don't even see him.
Right. Well, right. But yeah,
and he doesn't.
in order for that to work, someone has to react to it, even if it's just her.
Unless it's a reference, like, because there's a lot of Shakespeare stuff. And there's a lot of references to stuff, so it could be something in a play I've never seen, and it's a
maybe
inside joke. But I think very strongly that it's just a flubbed line that he didn't fix because he didn't have another take of it.
I think it sounds like a line that belongs in Fargo.
It does, yeah.
Shows to go, yeah.
Shows to go, yeah.
Right. If it would be, or it's like when Steve Martin's like, I ain't got her. And it's supposed to be a laugh line, like, oh, he's, this rich, well-to-do guy is colloquial and enough to say ain't, I mean, and that's the, it's because the language is, and the lines are so precise. When it's not, it stands out. And unless it's intentional, I don't like it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I think there's something wrong there. But
that was the other thing she said. Dog my cats.
That's an expression. That's a saying.
Yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, but still.
But yeah, that could be, maybe that is her thing. Maybe she likes to say weird stuff like that or mess up common phrases or something. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, overall, like he made choices. Okay, here's another one. He's doing the setup of the Swiss bank account, and they're doing a computer. And today would have been like a close up of the screen, because it's a pretty common thing to have a computer in a movie. But they shot it from behind, so you could see both actors, and then like a 200-point font of Patty. The word Patty was on like Patty.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, all right, I get it. You want us to see this word for some reason.
Yeah.
He's typing the word in. Okay. So some just weird choices that, a different director wouldn't make.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's enough to ruin. I mean, I thought it was mostly her. I do think.
I mean, she's certainly, I think, the most egregious.
Because I think Steve Martin is supposed to be very cool and measured and stuff.
Sure.
And I think Campbell Scott is supposed to be very even keeled and doesn't react very much.
Yeah.
So
his character seems awfully fucking stupid.
Oh, he's very
like, I cannot. I have a hard, and this is the writing of it all. I have a hard time believing that he would have actually taken that fucking notebook with him. The real thing. I couldn't believe it. I'm like, who would do that? No one would do that.
Because they told him to do exactly what they said.
Yeah.
He thought the feds were telling him what to do.
But even before the feds got involved, he like agreed to it, and I thought, well, he wouldn't do it. But then he, I think, clearly would have. Like, wouldn't you just bring a notebook with some scribbling in it? Not the real thing, because you don't know what
or
the
just
fuck
change some key bit of it.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have the real copy.
Yeah.
Tear a page out or something.
Yeah, I found that part a little like hard to believe. Like, doesn't he have any skepticism in him at all?
Apparently not.
Something this important?
At the beginning with his awkwardness, I thought they were going for the guy who is super smart at math but doesn't know anything about the real world.
Yeah.
Right. He's kind of weird with money. He doesn't really care about stuff that way other people do.
Yeah. I mean, because that character exists. that person exists. So I thought they were going that way. It's hard to say because he's sometimes awkward, he's sometimes not nice. I don't know. But he's never really picking up on things, and that's actually one of my other flaws of this movie is that the hero never does anything to save himself.
Yeah,
he gets swooped in, saving. The end isn't very satisfying to me. That all of a sudden you just get swooped in and saved at the last second by this outside force. I think there's even a name for that in the movies that you never knew was coming. So yeah,
that's also raises a question I was wondering. So when Rebecca Pigeon says "when in Rome" and points him towards the thing to buy the green
shamrock,
yeah, and then later the Japanese agent dude like flips it over and there's a mic, a wire.
Puts the mic there.
Like, when did he do that?
He puts it onto his collar right there. He plants it right onto
did he? Right then he turned. I thought he was just revealing it.
No,
like it had already been there, and I'm like, when the fuck did he put? How did that end up there?
No, he puts it on his lapel right there.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed that.
Yeah,
no, I had the same confusion. Like it looked like could have been shot better, more clear.
Yeah. That whole end happens so fast. It's like a one line. Like, oh, it was. We've been following you for 3 months, and it was so and so. He was like, what? Like, you don't even get a chance for it to sink in because immediately, and then, he walks away. That was the delivery. The two things that to me make this movie the difference between like a fun movie to watch, once versus like an absolutely incredible movie that everyone would know about today is the delivery of the lines and the very ending. That little scene. I don't know how to do it differently because he's so trapped at that moment.
Yeah.
Like how else do you save him? But those two things I think are the things that make this movie forgotten.
Yeah. I had something else was bothering me. I guess it's a nitpick. When Steve Martin gets in the middle, Steve Martin gets annoyed with Campbell Scott because he dropped the package off
right
with the doorman
Yeah.
instead of directly with his sister
who doesn't exist.
So what was that about? Like,
well, he was
so on one hand, I'd say maybe he's just trying to sell the lie, but why does he get all up his ass about not dropping the package off with his sister directly when his sister doesn't even fucking exist? If he'd have tried, he would have found out it was all bullshit. Or maybe, like I kept wondering, like, why does he do that? And why does Steve Martin do that? Get all pissed off and act like he's mad?
Well, one, I think
is it just to gain his trust again?
Yes,
like
it's definitely it's the
like
buy-in
just to sell it.
Because when he gets when Campbell Scott gets upset, then now he's invested. He's like, no, he's very polite about it, but he's still like, I can't believe you would think I'm that inconsiderate, like, but that got him, that hooked him. That definitely hooked him. But he was dangling the carrot of his sister, and she was never going to appear. She's got the flu. She's never there.
Right.
And that was the plan all along, was to kind of just get him, into his little circle, in his little made up world of privilege, and then until they, when as soon as the feds show up, then it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, as long as I'm harping on performances, I also found it annoying or not annoying, but like sort of baffling in the beginning when he first meets Steve Martin. Steve Martin offers him $1,000 for his camera, and Campbell Scott, his side of that conversation is so like sort of rude and annoyed and sort of combative, which I thought was odd. The way he plays it is odd. And then later, Steve Martin's like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have offered you money. That was gauche and that was whatever. Like, I guess, but also like, sure. Sure. Yeah. You got my
what
camera?
If he had taken the money?
Here. Yeah, give me, whether you take it or not, like, is it really any reason to be pissy about it? I don't know. It just seemed weird. Just like an odd performance choice. I'm sure that's the way it was written. I guess. Just, I don't know. And like, I get it. Later I feel like there should have been a payoff towards the end, where, because in the beginning, when they first meet, Campbell Scott is sort of irritated and combative. And then when they have the argument about the sister and handing off the package, he's again, like, he's showing some backbone and he's standing up for himself. And then later he just seems like such a wet noodle as he's being played by all parties. I just thought it would have been nice if there was a moment where he sort of like stood up and said, nah, fuck all this.
Well, I think the most backbone he shows turns out to be appropriate because he's actually upset with Klein, the Ben Gazzara character, because he's leading him on too. He's like, oh yeah, it's all going to be worked out when the shareholders meeting, or he I don't know, ironically or something, Steve Martin helps him stand up for what he should have been doing anyway. I mean, that's real. Like, he should have been looking out for his own interests from the get-go.
Yeah.
And then it goes too far because he is too combative, because he's got him and Steve Martin in his ear saying, you gotta, if you needed I would get an outside lawyer and all this stuff. And that's all true, but he just didn't have to. I mean, because he planted that seed in his head, I think he overreacted. But as it turns out, he was totally right about that. So I think it does kind of pay off, and I think that is where he's supposed to be going. If it wasn't an elaborate con job, he still should have learned that people cannot always be trusted, and when you have things of value, you should get compensated appropriately.
Yeah.
It just didn't work out the way he thought it would, but
yeah.
But are you saying more of like a narrative payoff of something?
Yeah, I wish he'd have done something at the end, because like if the Japanese guy and whoever else, if they hadn't sort of swooped in and whatever, he'd have been screwed. And it would have been nice if he'd have had some hand in his own salvation.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
That's why the ending doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly.
We never saw,
because I feel like it's teased
fully develop
in the first three quarters. We see moments where he can maybe like recognize that something's wrong and stand up to it and try and figure out a way to rectify it. But in the whole third act, he doesn't do anything. I don't know.
And even his powers of observation are lacking, because he has to. I mean, by the time that kid is like, "You put your fingerprints all over the book," I was like, "Of course, the book. I mean, it's so obvious."
Yeah,
It's The Giving Tree by Shel Silverstein. Can't you see the book?
Yeah. He leaves his glasses in the guy's apartment.
Leaves his glasses?
Come on,
don't you need those?
Right.
I guess he said he didn't. There was a line where he said, "I don't really need the glasses."
Yeah.
But then the guy in the boat was like, "Venezuela, what do you want to go there for?" And he says again, "What do you want to go there for?" Like, oh my god, okay.
That reminds me of so when he signs it, but that scene, there's a couple of scenes in this movie which I think is probably, I don't know if it's the editing or the directing, but like the flow of time is fucked up. Like the continuity is odd. So like when he first meets Steve Martin, and Steve Martin's like, you want to get a drink? And he's like, sure. And then the very next scene, it's day, like it's full daylight, and they show the sun, and it's not just like not peeking above the horizon. It's up there. Some time has passed. It's like they went to get a drink, and several hours passed, and
stayed up all night. Talking.
And now it's daytime. Like,
yeah,
I guess that's possible, but the way it's shot doesn't tell you that.
Yeah,
it's just this crazy jump.
And they're like about to have that cigar, and he asks a question, and then Steve Martin is answering on the tennis court.
Yeah.
So like they, there was a clear movement, and then no break in the conversation.
Yeah, and then he's like, and Campbell Scott's like, it's bedtime for me. It's like, aren't you on a work trip?
Well, his boss did tell him to enjoy himself.
Yeah, that's true. But then later in that, what reminded me of is that scene where they get his signature to join the club, and it's like, let's go have dinner. Okay, he signs the thing, and then all of a sudden they're like, all right, let's leave. and they're gone, and they leave, and it's like, oh, did they eat dinner?
Well, they cut to the after dinner digestive drink.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I guess it's just like the edit is odd, you know. And
most of those are valid. I think
it's just like it's a bit jarring, and you know, it sort of interrupts the narrative flow a bit when there's no, the transitions are just so abrupt.
Yeah, I agree with that first one, especially because his buddy went off to a casino all night and got drunk and all this stuff.
Right.
And he basically stayed up all night as well. But, you know, that didn't mess him up in the slightest. He got on the plane, he was fine.
Yeah,
right.
Totally.
But we should probably talk about what we like about this movie.
I say, I started this off thinking I liked the movie, and then I enjoyed watching it. Maybe I didn't. No, that's the strength of the heist is that, to me, these flaws are easily overlooked to still enjoy it. I know for me, not putting words in the grumpy pants over there.
Yeah,
I think we got the whole gamut. I think we got the person who is defending it. We got the person who is not so cool with all of it. And I'm in the middle. Like I do really I would say I like this movie. I would recommend it, but I would also say don't expect, Academy Awards.
I mean, I like the plotting of it for the most part, with a few minor exceptions here and there. I think it's odd though that the title doesn't make a whole lot of sense, especially when is it Ed O'Neill who explains what the Spanish prisoner is, and that's not what this is.
It's still not technically a Spanish prisoner,
right?
It's like more of an elaborate heist.
Yeah,
he kind of says, "Oh, it's an interesting twist on it," but it's the fact that the people in the con are explaining that it's a con is kind of smart, because it throws him off even more. Like, I mean, he should have figured out something about the way they were like, FBI guys don't generally tell you exactly what to do. Open that door, do this, I mean, I guess I've never met the feds, I don't think. Usually they're more like, more nonchalant about it, but I don't know. I mean, the pointing thing was fine. It's like, point that way, like you're showing me something like that was fine. But by the end I was like, okay, well, now what are they going to tell him to do? Tie his shoes or whatever. But
I like Felicity Huffman. I liked her delivery, the way she did things. I think she was strong. Surprisingly good.
Yeah, I agree with that. I forgot about her. She was good.
Yeah,
and
she handles that dialogue well.
Yep.
Does she have a background in theater, or
I don't know.
I mean, I'd assume most of them do, but not Steve Martin, maybe?
She got a lot more famous for other things.
Yes. She's had a big career, more or less. I mean, I don't think I'm crazy about Campbell Scott, but I'm fond of him because he went to my alma mater and he was in the theater department. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Good old Lawrence.
Is he from Wisconsin?
That's a good question. I thought no, it says born in New York.
I was trying to think of other things he's in, and all I could come up with was singles. And then he played like Peter Parker's dad in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
and that's it. I'm like,
he's in Dying Young, which you probably would never see.
Oh Christ, no, I never saw that.
That was kind of a big one for him. That was Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
I saw that one at the theater.
Roger Dodger. We like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah, he's pretty good in that.
Yep.
The Secret Lives of Dennis. I didn't see that. But yeah, Roger Dodger, I thought he was pretty good. And
that was good. Yeah, I like that one. I forgot about that.
It's a fun movie.
But yeah, I'm just like looking at his filmography, and I'm like, I never even heard of half of this shit.
Yeah, I think he's probably best cast in stuff like this, where he can kind of play the straight guy, not tons of personality, or he's not a villain type. He's everyman, sort of an everyman guy.
Yeah. Are you guys familiar with Ricky Jay? Who
just from
he's
David Mamet.
He passed away a few years ago, but he's a pretty well-known sleight of hand magician or illusionist, whatever the hell you call it. I saw him once. I saw his show. He had a show on Broadway like 20 years ago. And it was just a one-man show, and it was all sleight of hand, and it was called Ricky Jay and his 52 Assistants. And a friend of mine got me tickets, who worked in the box office at the theater his show was at, because I had done a editing favor or whatever. And I just went by myself and saw it, and there was a few celebrities in the audience. And it was like 2 hours, and it was awesome. He was so good at it, and he talked the entire time. And sort of relayed the history of sleight of hand from its very beginning up until his show. And it was fascinating. And he's really good at it too. Like really, really good at it. As good as anyone I've ever seen. And it was great. But so, yeah, and then he's in a few other things outside of David Mamet movies, but not much. I don't know if him and David Mamet were friends or what, but yeah, he wasn't in too many other. I mean, I'm sure if I look at his filmography, there's a lot more. It just seems like it's just David Mamet movies. But yeah, I don't know if any of his like magic shows are available, like on YouTube or something.
I'm curious. Apparently, he's really good at throwing cards too.
He is. Yeah, it's crazy. He did that. That was like part of his show.
Yeah. From 10 paces away, they said he could throw a playing card into the flesh of a watermelon.
Yeah, and it sticks.
Throw a playing card 190 feet at 90 miles an hour.
And his accuracy was crazy.
He
was like doing target practice with cards on stage, and it was amazing. Then he stuck it in things.
Oh, that explains why he's in the Prestige.
Oh, yeah.
Boogie Nights, not so much.
Like that, his Ricky Jay and his 52 Assistants has like a IMDb entry, but I don't know if you can actually see it anywhere.
Interesting.
Because they call it a TV movie. What's that?
Stephen Fry wrote that he saw that him and his 52 Assistants.
Oh, yeah?
And was blown away. And that he has a book called Learned Pigs and Fireproof Women. And they said it's a masterpiece.
Oh, it looks like it's available on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Oh, apparently it aired on HBO. Oh, it's only an hour. I thought it was like 2 hours. But this is way before. I mean, I saw it in like 2005, and this says 1996.
Well, maybe it changed over the years.
Huh. Yeah, if you guys dig it up on YouTube and watch it, it's really fascinating.
I love it. Good sleight of hand. It's always great.
Looks like he's got a few things on YouTube. He's got an episode of American Masters on PBS about sleight of hand and 3-card Monte. That's like 2.5 hours. I'll have to watch that too. Anyway, I don't think he's a terribly good actor.
No,
he's okay.
He seems like a stage guy.
Yeah, but his magic shows are fantastic.
I bet he hits his mark and knows all his lines.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, like the line when he gets off he's like, men dream and they dream of money. Like the way he delivers that line is just like, we're supposed to be impressed, but I'm like, all right.
Yeah, it's a little too not terribly subtle, you know.
Yeah, I mean it's effective because that's when I started thinking, what the heck is with this guy? And he has one of the keys to the safe where the process is.
Mm-hmm.
So until the murder part, you're like, well, he's got to be part of this.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be. So he serves as a red herring. Sort of.
But I guess if they're going to kill him anyway, why didn't they just kill him, take the key, and go take the process?
Because I think he says like, well, I mean, Klein, Ben Gazzara wanted to steal it the whole time, but he needed a way to get away with it.
Mm.
So this whole elaborate thing was to pin it on him, frame him, of the other guys, the only other guy that would be have access. So it takes him out of the picture, and he goes to jail. So it sort of makes sense. I mean, the whole thing. Sam, you said it was a heist. I think it's a heist. It's not a confidence scam.
Yeah,
not really. I mean, it is in the sense that like there's so many moments where there's things moving around and it's all a show. But
it's not straight up heist because otherwise they'd have just broken in a safe.
Right.
It's
I mean, I guess the con is
to get him to bring it to them.
Right.
Like that. What a great way to rob people is get them to bring you the very thing you want to steal.
I mean, that's the essence of a confidence scheme is you get someone to willingly give you something.
Right.
But it never really gets to that point. He willingly brings it somewhere, but then they have to steal it.
Right. I mean, the number of people. The number of people involved is crazy. Like in most confidence things, it's 3-4 people tops. And
it's kind of like The Sting. You ever see The Sting?
Yeah.
It's totally,
They have this like totally huge crew, but it's all people they've sort of paid, like a stable of people they've worked with doing this in the past, and
the fun of that is they show you exactly how they did it,
and
they draw him to a certain place at a certain time, and they do all this stuff with such precision. It's great. And this you're like, you just have to trust it. Like, well, they knew the guy here, and they knew that. I mean, you're right about the doorman could have messed it up right from the get go with his sister.
Yeah,
but. Beyond that, they had control of just about everything.
I also wondered, so, Ed O'Neill takes the book and just sort of sets it on the windowsill.
Yep.
Now, they swapped it, right?
Yep.
For another book that's blank. But how did they, like?
Yeah, I couldn't tell either. Like he has his back to the camera.
But also, like, how did they? Was there enough time to see the book? And then go get another one just like it wherever.
Yeah, because the woman saw it.
Get back. Like, did I miss it? Like, was there a moment where you're like, oh, that's when they could have done it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The pigeon saw him with the book before he put it in the safe.
That's
when they first.
Yeah, she's the inside person.
Oh, okay. She did. Yeah. Okay.
So she saw it.
She saw it.
She knows what the book looks like.
Right. So they weren't seeing it for the first time that.
Yeah.
In that moment.
I do kind of wonder what the plan was as far as her showing up and being like, hey, I'm not bad to look at. What do you think? Like what? So just to have more access to him, just to be closer, I guess.
Yeah.
So
he'd go to her. So he'd go to her because he does.
Right. He does eventually.
Like when shit starts to go awry, he goes to her. And I think that's the whole point.
And also the kiss at the end is like, why did you buy into it now? Like, why did he suddenly, like, I mean, it does seem like she's looking out for him because she's trying to help him escape and go to Boston. And again, she's just leading him down the path they want him to go. But what was the moment where he's decided, yeah, she's just into me,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was just desperation. He's like, well, I guess we're together now, I'll see you wherever. Well, he's supposed to go down there. But I don't know. It doesn't fall apart, but it's dicey at times.
Another question I have in my memory, I guess, is just it's not very good. So she puts the gun in that little bag, that little carry-on or whatever, and he leaves. He realizes he has that revelation about the book and the fingerprints and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Is it after that they discover Ricky Jay dead, or is it before?
No, because they're fleeing because
they're fleeing. Yes,
he's a murderer now.
Right. Okay. Yeah. All right. And she's just trying to make sure that he gets caught.
Right.
For some, and then okay. All right. Yeah. The sequence was scrambled in my brain.
So that's the other. I don't know if it's a nitpick or what, but like the fact that they haven't done anything with the process yet means they must have some elaborate plan after, like maybe they wanted it to die down for a while and then they sell it or something. But I thought, both times I've seen this, I've thought as soon as he loses, if it's out of his hands, that's it. The game's over.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's not is kind of like, well, maybe there's something I don't understand here, or maybe it just doesn't work for the rest of the plot.
Yeah, and when he opens the book and realizes it's blank and he's been duped, again, his performance is so weird. He just looks like sort of wryly amused or something.
Yeah, he smiles a couple times.
Yeah, he's like, oh, they got me.
Right.
Like,
yeah. And in a similar way, at the end, when she's getting in there, he's like, you're going to have to spend some time in your room. And then she smiles. And it's like,
yeah.
Really?
What a terrible fucking last line.
Were you so impressed by that line that you like, oh well, I'm going to jail, but that was a good one, you know?
Yeah.
Stuck out her tongue.
Yeah, that would have been better, I think. Give him a raspberry or something.
Yeah, that's a bad last line.
So Carter Burwell of Coen Brothers fame does the music, and I think it's good. I think it's very good, except there is no space. Like every scene in transition, there's like dialogue, and then there's music of every transition. Every little moment has music behind it. And I would have liked just once for them to be, make a choice to like, okay, let's just let it play out. We don't have to build. We're not building. We're not constantly building. I mean, it's really good at, like when it gets amped up to murder and things, it picks up, and I like that the most. But again, we've talked about this in other movies. If you use the same theme over and over, you gotta put some variation in it, or just don't use it all the time.
Yeah.
But it's not I don't blame Carter Burwell. I blame the producers and Mamet for that.
I agree.
But other than all of that, it was such a good movie.
Man, you guys.
Sorry, yeah, I feel bad. This is your pick, Sam.
You don't have to love it.
No,
I
but
enjoy it. I mean, I'd pick this thing if I could, but it's before our time period, by 2 years. So,
what about it being sort of a Hitchcock homage or Hitchcock?
Yeah, it definitely has that feel.
Yeah.
There's some little hints to it too when they use March 12th, which is the Hitchcock Day, and is that coincidence or not? I don't think so, but it definitely has that feel. Are you going to get away with it? That double indemnity sort of thing. But I think that it just goes back to the same things we talked about, that makes it awkward enough that to me, this is like, I'll give it a nice music analogy, because that's what Coen loves. Like if a song has good enough lyrics, you'll forgive it if some of the music's kind of simple or whatever, and the music's really good, you'll forgive it if the lyrics don't always work, because the music's good enough. And that's what this is. This is one where you're like, okay, the overall like idea of what's going on is good enough that I'll forgive the other stuff, just because there's just so few really good con/heist movies. I mean, and I shouldn't say that. Like every few years, there is one that's fun to watch. Catch Me If You Can, Ocean's 11, Brothers Bloom is one I love. So they come around.
Yeah.
But this one is like, you're not in on anything, and it makes this fun the whole way. And you just feel that like you're like, oh, they're one step ahead of him the whole way. And it's genius.
Steve Martin is in another con man movie.
Oh yeah, Dirty Rotten Scoundrels is fun. That's a great movie.
Yeah,
that's fun, but it's very different than this.
Yeah,
and you know it the whole time.
Yeah,
but it has a twist in it. I mean,
oh no, it does. It has great twists. And, that it also has Rupert.
Rupert.
Have you guys ever seen The Grifters with John Cusack?
I have. Yeah. I don't remember very well.
Time ago.
That's pretty good too. It's a good book.
Yeah, I could see it being a good book.
Also, just going back to Sam, you mentioned Double Indemnity. I don't know if the intent. I mean, that's not a Hitchcock movie. I don't know if that was the intention.
Oh,
but
yes. Sorry, screwed that one.
Just to be clear, that's a Billy Wilder movie, not a Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah,
but it is great. It's fantastic.
Yeah. All right. Strangers on a Train.
There's a train, or The Man Who Knew Too Much, or something like that.
Yeah.
Well, the point is, it feels like a Hitchcock movie.
Yeah, it does.
And that is missing from, like Sam was saying, like when these come along. I mean, Hitchcock did it so well. I think people stopped doing it. You know, or maybe they just couldn't do it. They just couldn't match him.
Yeah.
So why bother?
Although, what's his name? Brian De Palma kind of. I feel like he sort of started his career aping Alfred Hitchcock a bit.
We talked about that. You mentioned that, I think, right when we did the Heat, whatever it is.
Carrie.
Oh, Carrie.
Yes, because Carrie
makes more sense.
Just like this movie.
Totally.
That would have been just as good of a very last thing at the end. The Campbell Scott just gets mad and Pigeon explodes.
That'd have been great.
Like,
until out of nowhere.
That'd be great if he said, "You need to spend some time in your room," and he said something like all over the walls, and she splatters all over the.
Well, I think he might. I mean, I think Roger Ebert or something said something like, "Oh, he must have been so pleased with himself when he didn't have like a single swear word in the whole movie and got his PG rating." And I think I don't know if that's because he wanted it to be more Hitchcock, but Glengarry and Ross, there's a million F-bombs. There's just more realness to it. And there's, you can only take so many cute phrases and, wordplay, not wordplay, but just like the way that they talk through the whole, like no one isn't speaking like a normal person.
Yeah.
Except for maybe like a doorman here or like the random people will pop up. But.
Yeah. And that is a flaw when everyone's too poetic,
Just a little bit.
When they're quoting, Shakespeare or other.
Yeah. I kind of feel that. I mean, I probably mentioned this, but I feel that way sometimes about Aaron Sorkin movies.
Yes, that's
because his characters are all just so fucking clever. It's like, oh my god,
right?
One person can be that clever, not everybody.
Right, and he also has that theater background where it's more acceptable somehow to do it in the theater. I don't know why, but
yeah.
Well, a lot of times in theater too, it's used as they'll use it a little more with comedy.
Sure. Theater's also it's broad and it's loud and it's projection and it's overacting and you got to get it out there off the stage into the whole room, and like I feel like that you're not looking most times you're not looking for realism, you're looking for performance, and so people maybe will speak in a manner not so realistic because that's just not really what the theater is most of the time,
What was that, Sean?
Oh, I just said that you mentioned a lot of that in the beginning, like.
Yeah, I always like to. It's Inception. If you watch a lot of our reviews, at the very beginning I say some thoughts, and then I just sit there quiet, and then you guys eventually roll around to them at the very end, and I'm like, "Yep,
you guys are geniuses."
Yeah. Wow. It's like,
nice work.
Yeah,
didn't even need to invade our dreams.
He plays the long con on us every week.
So I like the movie.
Damn.
Yeah.
I mean, it should be said that even though we may be like half or 2/3 of us kind of down on it. I mean, critics were 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, and the audience was like 80%. So most people, on the whole, like this movie. It's not a bad movie by any stretch.
All right, you sound apologetic.
All right, I went too far the other way.
All right, what are we doing next?
Not my pick, is it? Thank God.
Well, I feel like my last stab at horror was not quite so successful, so I'm going to try again.
And it's no surprise.
So
wait,
we're going
1980s horror?
Yes. And this is foolproof.
Poltergeist.
Is it early 80s?
Sean just said it.
What'd you say?
I mean, Poltergeist. It's got to be Poltergeist.
Oh, yeah.
If you say
there you go.
Horror movie that's foolproof, that's got to be it.
Yeah. So
we referenced it enough.
Yeah. And I haven't seen it in its entirety in so long.
Yeah, I can't remember last time I watched
that
it.
I'm pretty curious. Like, there's no, I know exactly what's going to
years.
happen. I think throughout. I don't think there'll be any surprises, but I'm just curious of the visceral effect if it's still as sort of creepy as I recall, and just like kind of scary.
Yeah, or are we too jaded now?
Or,
Let's find out.
I also, having watched the shitty remake several years ago, whenever that came out, that was terrible.
I didn't get halfway through that, but I guess we'll talk about the sequel and
and
all of the whole damn franchise, right?
Yeah, indeed.
That's a good pick. That's one that I don't have to, be like, oh crap, like most of yours. Like, okay, when am I gonna slog through this?
Let's see, where can we watch this bastard? Let's see. You can see it. Oh shit! I think it's only available for rent.
Damn it! I was just about to say we've been on such a good streak of finding a service here or there.
That's unfortunate. Makes me wonder if I don't have it.
Yeah, $3.79 on Prime.
And what's right about early 80s?
Yes. Indeed. Let's see. Do I have?
And so I don't mess up his name again. It's Toby Hooper or Tobe? It's Toby.
Right? That's a good question. I don't really know. I always thought it was Toby, and then I thought I heard someone like on TV or something in an interview say Tobe.
I don't know. When we talked about Texas Chainsaw like a long time ago, I said it one way and you corrected me. So maybe by next time we'll have it sorted. Maybe
we'll sort that out.
Tune in, see what happens. Another twist.
Indeed. All right. Well, this has been our best one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
No
doubt.
Indeed. Well then.
No catchphrase this time.
Yeah.
That's enough, movie buff. I'm out. I'm just thinking of
play the hits.
Carol Ann. I'm like just remembering all the scenes in my head. They're here. Yeah. Boy. Yeah, this is good.
Yeah, should be fun.
No.
Right on. All right. Well, until then,
I'll be back.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
It's the Fun with Three Brains.
Shows to go, yeah.